Now, Pope Leo, who's celebrating his first Christmas as the head of the Roman Catholic Church, has delivered the traditional Urbi et Orbi blessings from the balcony overlooking St. Peter's Square in the Vatican. The pontiff spoke of the suffering being felt around the world and prayed for those experiencing conflict in the Middle East and Ukraine.
From God, let us ask for justice, peace and stability for Lebanon, Palestine, Israel, Syria. Trusting in these divine words, the effect of righteousness will be peace, and the result of righteousness, quietness and trust forever. Let us pray in a particular way for the tormented people of Ukraine. May the clamour of weapons cease, and may the parties involved, with the support and commitment of the international community, find the courage to engage in sincere, direct and respectful dialogue.
Leo there. Well, the crowds have dispersed somewhat since that address, but this is the scene live over St. Peter's Square. It was, of course, from the balcony there at the Vatican that the address was made. The first time, of course, Pope Leo has delivered a Christmas Day message. This is, of course, his first Christmas as pontiff. Well, I've been speaking to the Catholic journalist Charles Collins, the managing editor of cruxnow.com. He's also worked at Vatican Radio.
More political than I would expect during his homily. He only mentioned one area in particular, specifics, and that was Gaza. And that has been a big concern of both the small Catholic community in Israel and Palestine, and also within the Vatican, both from John Paul II to Benedict to Francis, and now Leo. They're all very concerned about what's going on in the Middle East.
And so we've heard from him there, but he's going to be making that big address as well from the balcony at St. Peter's Square. Do you think it's going to be a similar message again?
Yes, the Urbi et Orbi to the church and the world and the city is usually a message about peace in the world, and the Pope will generally mention the different countries that are experiencing war. I'm sure Gaza is going to come up. I think Ukraine will come up. Also, lots of countries in Africa and in Asia. That's what happens during this message. He will make, very good religious statements about Jesus, about the birth of Christ, but he will name different areas, and he will often name particular countries where violence is occurring, and that always is a big deal in those countries.
Indeed, and as we talked about just then, he's already mentioned the conflicts in the Middle East, for example. Charles, this is his first Christmas Day address since he became pontiff. It's been a busy few months for him. When you look back on his time in the role so far, what would your assessment be?
My assessment is he is trying to unify the church. Pope is supposed to be the Pope, and popes are supposed to always be like their predecessors. Now, in the Francis era, that kind of changed a little bit, and so now he is trying to combine Francis with Benedict. And it's a slow path, and we don't actually know what Pope Leo is yet. Right now, we're seeing the post-Francis era, and I don't think we're going to see the Leo era until next year.